Hello everyone, I am Beast, and I am here casting more Gambit Cup action. The second matchup of today is going to be SAS versus GT. Some very good players on those two teams, so I'll be excited to cast this one. Let's get into game one. And we're going to have the same order of the maps as last time. So the first one will be La Mancha. Let's see who our players are in the first set between GT and SAS. We have Pez versus True Touch. That's a pretty good matchup. Alright, we have SAS, Pez. I'm using a new keyboard, so I have to remember what the hotkeys are because I'm not used to actually looking at the buttons. I'm just used to location. And we have it was True Touch. GT True Touch. All right. And True Touch is blue, and Pez is orange. So, True Touch, the very talented Polish Zerg player who had a good showing in yesterday's Nation Wars finals. You can check that out when Sale uploads it. I co-casted with him. I thought we did a pretty good job. And at the bottom position we have SAS Pez, the Hungarian Terran player. One of the two Hungarian Terran players. Because there is Pez and there is Skylime, and that is it. There are no other Terran players in the nation of Hungary. They all play Zerg. So, oh, a message? Sale wanted to say hi to me, so hi to Sale. All right. What I was trying to say was second PvZ of the day on this map, and it looks like we're gonna have the same openings with a in-base barracks for the Terran and a 12 hatch for the Zerg. Sorry. Apparently Sale is having trouble casting the finals of Ribbon. But you know what, man? I don't have time for fame and all the fans watching this, man. I gotta cast Gambit Cup. Yeah. You 13 viewers, you have my undivided attention. Assuming that Sale doesn't talk to me again, because then my attention will be very divided as I talk to him. But I'm not leaving this. I'm going to cast the rest of GT versus SAS, because this is going to be a good matchup. I'm excited. Anyway, 3 hatch for True Touch, and Pez with the 1-Rats FE. So yeah, we are continuing to see the exact same builds as we saw last time. Now, hopefully Pez won't go for something rather silly like his Terran counterpart did last time. Okay, now we're switching it up. He's going to go for second racks before the gas. Oh. You know what? I wasn't even thinking about the music. I turned off the music because I personally don't like it when I was doing the cook out of Sale. And it's also really loud for me. So I had just turned it off. And I just completely forgot to turn it back on. But here it is, man, in all its Brood War glory. Let me know if the sound effects or the music are too loud or too quiet, because I really can't get an accurate judgment on that. Anyway, so the downfall of the Terran last game was the fact that they went for an interesting text transition, but really didn't have the money to support it, and were unable to establish a third until very late into the game. So hopefully Pez will not run into that same kind of issue. The sunken colony is going to be in time. This is a Flash-esque 6 Marine attack, but 6 Marines can't actually beat the sunken. They could try for a run-by, but I don't think that would work out very well. No medics means that they can't really do much. And in fact, the medics aren't going to be out for a while. The academy isn't even done yet. As you can see, the thing's like really close to the edge, so it's kind of hard to decrease it. Alright, there we go. Maybe if I had a mouse pad, I'd be able to move the mouse in smaller increments, but I have not used a mouse pad for a very long time. I'm just used to using whatever surface I'm on. Anyway. So that is a lot of Marines for Pez, and is now starting to reinforce with medics, but it looks like we're going to once again have a 4-rax. Now it's going to be a 4-rax without the +1, as that eBay is much later. It's not going to be for... Well, not for an immediate +1 anyway. It's more for turrets. And True Touch has the 3 hatches up, and has enough money for the first set of 9 Unilisks. So that eBay is going to be just in the nick of time. If he starts building turrets immediately, he's going to be able to get them up with the flight time of the Mutilisks. But it's pretty close. Pretty damn close. Ooh, fire bats. Interesting. Alright, 2 turrets to cover, 3 turrets to cover the barracks. That's good. How many turrets in the natural? 1, 2... Only 2? I imagine he's going to throw down a third, like right here, because that's the normal place for one. Nope, only 2 at the moment. Any in the main? No, none covering the main mineral line. But here come the Mutilisks, so he's out of time to build emergency turrets. Stops the factory from being constructed, and even stops that turret from finishing. Oh, those turrets are not going to do a very good job of covering the barracks, so the Mutilisks are still going to be able to pick off pretty easily. Now, Pez did march across the map to try to attack, but he didn't actually engage with it. You can see all the Sunkets are still at full health. He just brought them back, and that's one of the worst things you can do is Terran, to march them all the way across the map, then change your mind and bring them back. But they are here now, so the Mutilisks can't get that many more SCV kills, but there's already a good amount of damage that's been done, and the Mutilisks are still a potent threat. Oh! What a hero Marine, man! He just like ran up and one-shotted the one that was injured. What a boss. But more Mutilisks come to replace the dead ones. And True Touch should probably stop trying to attack this. It has such low saturation. There's so many Marines. The main is very vulnerable. As you can see, there were no turrets there. But the Marines are doing a good job defending the natural for the moment. True Touch has expanded to the far corner. And now, bringing out a couple speedlings to accompany the attack. How far is Lurker Tech? Lurker Tech is about 75% of the way done. Alright. Pez has a factory but no machine shop for it. Looks like he's going to go straight for the vessels. And the vessels should be out in time to help deal with some lurkers, assuming that they're not in too high of numbers. It's not as if True Touch is banking up a huge amount of gas for them. And once again, going to take out the turrets. The Marines aren't quite in a good position to defend, so the Mutilisks are going to pick off yet more SCVs. He's actually getting a lot of SCV kills this game. very nice economic damage and pulling out without losing too much engagement. There's a ferocious pack of speedlings just begging to be able to backstab at this point. And Pez, whoa, that's not what I meant. Because I'm using the replacement keyboard, it's on my lap and it slipped off. Sorry, these Zerglings are just begging to backstab as soon as Pez moves out, and Pez does not have very big marine numbers at this point. Now, True Touch is still preventing missile turrets from being established on the bottom. It seems like that's what he wants to do. And it really keeps the Marines home if you're constantly whittling down defenses there. But here come the Lurkers. 4 so far. 2 more morphing. And I assume there are 2 over here. Nope, just 1. Probably get another one there. 1 Lurker at the ramp isn't terribly good, but 2 Lurkers at the ramp are insanely good versus Marines. Anyway, +1 has been started, so it looks like he's going to stick with Marines into the later stages of the game, which is good. Still not going for siege tanks though, so a little bit of an SK style. Doesn't have the double star for it, but I assume he'll add that on a little bit later. Anyway, here comes the attack, and as I said, those Lings were just waiting for the Marines to leave, and even bringing in some Lurkers. Now, those Marines are going to have a really hard time dealing with these Lurkers, and Mutalisks are still, well, they're not overhead anymore, I guess, when the Mutalisk died, but so many Marines have fallen. Oh man, that natural is done. And he doesn't have siege tanks. Does he even have a radiate? He doesn't have a radiate. Oh man, he really cannot deal with these Lurkers at this point, especially with them going to be in chokes pretty much for the rest of the time. More Lurkers flooding in. I think that True Touch has very effectively wrapped up this game. But he's going to creep forward with the Lurkers, continuing to push the Marines back and back, and once he gets his Lurkers to about here, it's just about over. If the Marines can't spawn, there's something else he can do. Going for... Oh, he does have a radiate. Going for siege technology a little bit late. Trying to do some micro. Oh, that... He left that one a little bit too close. But actually, he's doing a pretty good job with the micro. For a while there. I mean, it just takes so much time to kill Lurkers. They even have an armor upgrade. But the siege tank's out. How much longer until siege mode? Siege mode's just about done, but it just does not matter. Hez GG's and True Touch is going to take the first set for GT. Whoa, I'm getting lots of viewers. I wonder if Sales stopped casting. Alright. SAS versus GT set number 2 on match point. Let's see who the 2 players sent. We have South Park versus Vorty. Alright. And GT... Oops, did not need to hit enter. South Park. 40's red, correct? Yes. 40 is red. And South Park is teal. So, now, GBZ on match point is pretty similar to GBZ on every map. Although, if you're a boss like Yuck is, you proxy hatch over in this corner. Actually, technically do it in this corner. But you proxy hatch your opponent's base and then kill them with speedlings. Doesn't look like that's what's going to happen because neither player sent out the drone scout yet, but that game was pretty sick. I'm pretty sure it was Yuck versus Zero on this map. Anyway, South Park going for the very early gas. Interesting. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's an overgas. Yep. Overgas, then the spawning pool on 10. Alright. Meanwhile, Vorty going for the much more standard 12 pool. Now, going for an overgas means that you are going to have fast Mutalisks, and that is your game plan. But it is going to have a slightly worse economy than Vorty's is. Vorty's going to have a much faster expo. You do normally expo off of a 12th pool. Where overgas, it's not necessarily required that you expand behind it. Pain versus DM already happened. Sorry, Modesty. Your game's been casted. Anyway, Vorty has started speed. Is South Park going to do speed? No. Sometimes you can do speed just because you're going to have extra gas anyway. Whoa! South Park had sub-100 supply for a second. What a boss. Alright. Sometimes you can get speed, although it's kind of rare because the purpose is you're going for faster Mutalisks, and if you get speed, you're going to slow down the Mutalisks a little bit. But it looks like South Park's going to have to deal with some speedlings, and a good number of them, just because there is going to be a second hatchery. Now, he has thrown down the very quick Sunken. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay. This is a little bit on the peculiar side. Throwing down the second hatchery here. He'll have a little bit of extra gas, so he'll be able to build some extra Mutalisks off the second hatchery, but you aren't able to sustain Mutalisk production off of both these hatcheries, or Alpha 2 hatcheries for long. Normally when you do this, it's because you're going to supplement with Zerglings. And I say it's weird because he didn't get Zergling speed. The basic strategy behind doing this is that it's a lot safer than taking your expansion like Vorty is. But you can hold off with similar Mutalisk numbers and then overwhelm him with just like a bunch of Zerglings on the ground. But we'll have to see. Now, Vorty's Zerglings are a lot stronger than South Park's, because South Park has not even started speed. But there is a Sunken, and that's going to make a huge difference. Vorty should lose this fight, assuming that South Park micros correctly. Yes, Pain versus DM is finished. Now, how much longer till Vorty Spire finishes? Vorty actually has a lot of time before his Spire finishes. He has to throw down the Evolution Chamber to keep himself safe for the time being. And Vorty isn't going to bother to tackle his speedlings. He realizes he's not going to be able to break into that. Now South Park speed finishes. Okay. And you do need speed if you're going for a two hatchery in one base strategy. But the Spire's done. How many Mutalisks is he making? 1, 2, 3, 4, and is that 5? No. 4 to begin with. He still does have an excess of gas, so he'll be able to produce Mutalisks off of 2 hatchery for a while. And are the spore colonies going to be in time? It looks like it. You only really need 1 per base. Against such small Mutalisk numbers. Sometimes you can need 2 if this 1 spore colony isn't going to quite cover the Spire. And it might not have. But Vorty is going to make a bunch of scourge. And in fact, South Park's not even going to go for it. I'm just going to try to slam some Overlords in the middle of the map. Going to only pick up 1. It looks like Vorty did not spread out his Overlords very far. Anyway, and here come the supplemental Zerglings. So he's going to be about even in the air, and then hopefully he's able to lull his opponent a little bit and overwhelm him with Zerglings on the ground. Now, Vorty did see the second hatchery, so he knows he has to worry about a good number of Zerglings. Is that... No, that's enough. That's a second spore. Interesting. But this is probably going to be for a sunken colony, and it's not going to finish in time. In fact, the Zerglings are just going to run by it, and there is no spore colony here. The Zerglings can focus on the spores, and that's going to allow the Mutalisks to come in and probably range the spire. The Zerglings are attacking it anyway. Vorty just does not have the Zergling numbers, and I think Vorty's going to lose this. Vorty leads the game. Man, don't sleep on the Hyuk build. Do not sleep on the Hyuk build. Alright. I'm pretty sure I put them in. So we can just move on to the next game. No, I did not. Where are they then? It says I saved the files, but I don't know where the files are. No, that's not what I wanted. Ah, here they are. That's not where I wanted them at all. Alright, here we go. Wait. No. I screwed this up again. No, okay, I didn't screw this up. Awa screwed this up. Awa, you sent me Pain vs. DM set 3 and 4 twice. That's what's going on. Alright, I didn't screw it up. I'm happy. Okay. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of downtime. I hope that Sale did find somebody to cast those games. I'm not sure. For the people who joined in now, Sale sent me a message asking me if I could cast the finals of the Ribbon Cup, and I said I can't, because I'm casting SAS versus GT. So then a lot of people joined my chat. So I guess that means he didn't send it. He didn't find a caster. Oh, wait. Maybe I just don't have replays because GT's players didn't send in replays? Because now they're talking about how I was telling Sneasel in chat that there's some issue that players aren't sending in replays. Is that why there are no replays? I could just try the ones he sent me and see if they changed. Is this a different one? Nope. This is the same one. So, I really don't have any more replays. There are 2 walkovers. Apparently. I don't know for who. Awa, I need you to help me out here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Apparently, somebody played Ace, and Awa doesn't have replays for him. I'm getting messages. Okay. He just sent me the wrong replays. He does have replays, just not the right ones. Okay. So send me the right ones instead of Pain vs. DM again. And we'll be good. Alright. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. I hit accept files, and it says in progress, but it normally does not take anywhere near this amount of time. And like I have the replays on my desktop, but I am not allowed to move them because they are quote-unquote being processed. Should I cancel? I don't know if I cancel if I'm allowed to retry it. Oh no. Should I try again? There we go! Alright. Alright, it's fine. See? Doing nothing is usually the solution. Good things happen to people who sit on their asses and watch. And that's why I became a caster. Alright. SAS vs. GT set 3. Here we go. Alright, so which one's the Terran? Purple's Terran. We have GT Sneasel versus SAS Zaraki. Nice! Sneasel? Let's say you spell Snitzel, right? Capital L. Oh, I was so worried about the spelling I wasn't even thinking about capitalization. I was just kind of hoping it was normal. Of course it's not normal. SAS Zaraki? Key? Let's say capitalize Rocky, right? Oh, man, I messed them both up. I'm so bad at this. Alright. SAS Zaraki is teal. Snitzel is white. Okay. So, a PVZ on Gladiator. Excuse me. This should be a pretty good matchup. Zaraki's a very talented player. Snitzel is a very talented player. Snitzel is delicious. I don't know if Zarakis are delicious. I don't know what a Zaraki is. I just know what a Snitzel is. Snitzel's are good. Anyway, Zaraki doing the extractor trick to get out the extra drone. Now, let's see. Probably gonna. Where's gonna put the gateway? I'm gonna put the gateway here or here. Probably gonna put it here, and then it's not tight if they're side by side. Alright, but it's actually gonna matter a bit because with the 9 pool, we're gonna have out some early lings and going to attack. Snitzel's not going to scout it, but he's gonna throw down 2 cannons. Ooh, is he not gonna put the gateway by the forge? Put the gateway here? That could work. But these cannons should be in time. They'll definitely be in time. A banner pylon going down is gonna slow down the Zerglings a little bit, and definitely gonna buy the cannons enough time to finish. Although 6 Zerglings could still slip along this side if another building isn't thrown down here, like, immediately. It's possible. But no. Wait, does he not know where his button is? I think he knows where his opponent is. He's just going to kill this probe, who is Manor Pyloning the Third. That's pretty excessive. The double Manor Pylon at both the Expos. Alright. So yes, he isn't going to put the gateway by the forge. He's going to split them up. I like that wall. It's a pretty cool looking wall. I don't actually know if these are tight. So, I mean, it's a terrible wall if neither of these are tight. But assuming that these are tight, as they would appear to be, then, yeah, it's pretty good. Alright. So, Schnitzel is a player who's been a little bit inactive recently, but the few times he has played, he's shown that he is one of the best Protosses that the foreigners currently have. A very, very strong player. And Zaraki is a little bit of a loose cannon, because when he's on his A game, he can beat some of the best players in the world, or some of the best non-Korean players in the world. But he's also had some times where he's looked really, really bad, and he just fluctuates day to day as to exactly where his skill level is. Now, judging where the Zealots are, it would appear that these two are tight, which means that this pull is really cool, because he's going to be able to get the goons out as well. And he's not going to have to make them go through mineral lines. Pretty slick. Anyway, Zaraki going for the standard 3-hatch into Spire. He actually doesn't have his... He has his pylons a little bit spread out. I'm not sure if a pylon can actually power a cannon in the normal spot for you to throw a cannon. Like right here. Maybe it can. I mean, if you put one down here, it's not that much of a difference, but normally you put it right in that the little square that the probes seem to be avoiding. And of course, it only makes a difference if Zaraki is deciding to go Mutalisks, which is not a given at all. First Corsair out, not going to go for the easy Overlord kill, going to go for scouting first, and then going for an Overlord kill. And Zaraki doesn't have any anti-air on the way. His Hydralisk Den isn't even started yet. It's going to be started pretty soon, though. He used to make a little bit of Sim City there. Alright. So, only one Overlord in the general vicinity, but Scourge popped anyway. So it's going to be forced to fly home. Is there another Overlord somewhere around here? No. Where's Zaraki hiding all of his Overlords? Kind of an interesting positions. I mean, they're not normal positions for Overlords to be, but if Schnitzel does find them, there's no way he's going to be able to defend them. Anyway, pack of Speedlings moving back and forth here, just begging to go for the run by. I'm not going to be able to do it until after the first Zealots move out. But the +1 and the speed are almost done, so you might get this opportunity rather soon here. Alright, Overlord speed has been started. No it doesn't look like any lurkers. Just gonna go for a Hydralisk army at this point. Now, +1 has finished. This would be if he was going for a +1 timing attack, he would have moved out a little bit sooner. But he's actually saving up for a little bit stronger of a force, and yeah, he's going to move out now, and he has more Zealots than normal, actually. These Zerglings are going to be able to spot it, and they're not going to go for a backstab, they're just going to retreat back and help defend. Now, how good is the Sim City? 2 sunken colonies and some Hydralisks. that might not be able to stand up to that many zealots. That's almost a control group. 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, yeah. And the Corsairs are going to come in and kill all the Overlords. There aren't any DTs anyway. But the Hydralisks aren't in a good position to be safe behind the Sim City. But after the first few Hydralisks die, it looks like that was a very effective Sim City. He built a building here which blocked it even a little bit more and canceled it afterwards. And the Zealots are going to be deflected. Now that is what a perfect Sim City looks like. Because there was no way that the Zealots, even the bigger number of Zealots, was going to be able to deal with that. Now this Sim City isn't quite as good, as there's a nice big path over here if the Zealots were to go for it. But it looks like Schnitzel is content on just killing a bunch of the Overlords. He has so many Corsairs. Did he go double Stargate? No, he didn't go double Stargate. He almost had enough Corsairs that you'd think he did. And Schnitzel is taking a very quick third. Now, this is pretty rare just because at this stage in the game it's hard for Protoss to defend it. But Zaraki hasn't scouted it yet, and if he doesn't scout it until later, the defenses are going to be very... Schnitzel's going to be able to get up some very strong defenses here. But, no... Oh, nope. No, Zaraki's not going to go for it. Oh man, I thought for sure he's heading his army up in that direction. But once a few more cannons get thrown down there, it's going to take the Filers to break it. And oh, here comes the DT. Is there any Overlord anywhere remotely close? Does not look like it. And there are Overlords in the vicinity anyway. So it looks like that DT is going to push back the Hydralisk. Even has a couple Templars out. Actually, there's a lot of Templars. 5 already for this early in the game. Meanwhile, still not researching lurkers yet. And he has started his 4th, so he will be going for a bit of a turtle style here. Now, turtle style can be effective, but he's going to need those lurkers pretty soon. Schnitzel has a pretty scary army. Now, Zaraki, as we saw earlier, has set up a very nice Sim City, but once some Dragoons get thrown in, the Sim City kind of melts away. It's pretty much impossible to make an infected Sim City that keeps out goons. Well, looks like Schnitzel's moving out for going for attack number 2. Now he still really doesn't have a good composition for breaking a Sim City like this. Ooh, looks like a lot of scourge died. Interesting decision. Gonna sacrifice one of the Corsairs. Now this army composition is going to be very good for engaging Hydralisks. He has a lot of storms, but storms don't hurt buildings. So if the Hydralisks are caught out in the middle of the open, Schnitzel can take a really big victory there. But if the Hydralisks play it close to the chest and are able to get back home... Oh, okay. If they're able to get back home in time, I don't think Schnitzel can be able to win. At least not with the current composition he has. He needs to, here we go, make a lot more Dragoons, which he is now. How good are his upgrades? He almost has a 2-1 finished, compared to 1-0 for Zaraki. Finally got that lurker upgrade. Ooh, making a lot of lurkers over at his main. He doesn't have a... Man, there's so much lag. Zaraki doesn't even know what he's doing. Oh, there's no anti-air at his main. Like, absolutely none. There's not a spore, and every Hydralisk became a lurker. Okay, now there are 2 Hydralisks, but that's a lot of Overlords to be that vulnerable. He'll probably get anti-air before Schnitzel could capitalize on that, but it's a little bit scary. Anyway, as you can see, he's taking the Center Expo. that can be kind of dangerous for a Zerg player to do. Just because you can't set up a Sim City, and because the Protoss army is going to be mostly in the middle of the map anyway. Now, looks like we're going to have a little bit of a harass, a single DT along with a lot of Zealots, but there is a Spore colony there and a bunch of Sunkens, so the DT is not going to be able to do anything. Are you going to load up 2 Dragoons or something? No. He's leaving 1 DT in there, just hoping it's going to have a chance to be sneaky at some point. But it's not going to be able to unless it gets significant support. Anyway, what I was saying about this is the Protoss army is in the middle of the map most of the time. So you don't want to take expos that's easy for them to just hit and then regain middle of the map position. This expo, not only does it have a gas, which is more important for a Zerg, but it's also a little bit more out of the way. So if the Protoss was to move its army to attack that, then it'd be harder for it to rebound to defend one of Protoss's own expos or to attack a different expo. Anyway, Snitzel's now taking a 4th though. Zaraki has put no pressure on, and this is part of the issue with a 4-based turtle style of Zerg, is that Snitzel can say, fine, you want to get up to 4 bases? That's cool. I'm going to get up to 4 bases too, and my 4 bases are better than your 4 bases. It's why this strategy works a lot better on 3-player maps. Because you can't quite do that. But let's see how this goes. Lots and lots and lots of storms going down. Very nice storm spreadage. Zaraki did have his unit spread out to begin with, but it wasn't even enough to deal with that many storms. Now, he's killing off some lurkers, but there's still a huge Protoss force behind this, and I don't know if Zaraki's going to have enough stuff to deal with so many +2 speed lots. The Hydra Lurker force is at 2-1 as well, and that's going to help, but man, there are just so many Protoss units, so many Templars. These two still have 2 storms apiece, and they are going to use them. There are more storms going to be pushed right here. There we go. So many storms. Just constant lightning raining down on the opponent. And Snitzel is actually going to have to pull off. Zaraki did just have enough lurkers to live, but Snitzel is still ahead by 50 supply and has even bases with his opponent. That is not good. And once again, these overlords are looking pretty vulnerable. I mean, not quite. There's a Spore, and there are a couple Hydralisks around, but that's a lot of Corsairs just looming, with +1 even. And yeah, they were going for the attack, but pulled out at the last moment. Only brought half the Corsairs. Just kind of odd. I think he's pushing back the Corsairs so that the Observer will remain alive, because he does need that Observer. There are so many lurkers. 2 Sunkens being put down in an interesting location. They're going to miss a lot because they're on the low ground. And, in fact, they're not even going to finish making. They're just going to die instantly. But this might be the final attack. The Corsairs are killing so many Overlords. Zaraki down supply blocked and only at 84 compared to 165 for Snitzel. He's actually gained supply throughout the course of this attack. And I don't think that there's going to be a way for him to stop these goons. Sunkens do a lot of damage to the goons, but they're just enough that I think he can aim, move, and win at this point. This base is going to go down, and this is what I was talking about a vulnerable base. See, the goons are still putting pressure on the main as they do damage to this hatchery. That storm's a little bit late. Most of the Zerglings were dead anyway. But Zaraki at 66 and supply blocks compared to 174 of Snitzel. And Snitzel played this perfectly, allowing his opponent to sit behind his perfect Sim cities and take 4 bases, and then just win anyway. Anyway, Dragoons have to do a little bit of micro here, because otherwise these Sunken Dragoons are just going to do a lot of damage. Probably wouldn't have killed him, but it would have made it so that follow-up Zerglings might have been enough. Meanwhile, a huge flood of new units for Snitzel is going to seal the deal. There's no way that Zaraki can defend his main and his natural, and this is the base where he has his tech. Or at least it's where he has his hive. Has he built the Defiler Mound somewhere else yet? No. He's building the Ultralisk Cavern over here. So he will still have access to hive tech, but he's still only going to be on 2 bases, a third if you want to count this one. Certainly not in a good position. Snitzel's even taken a 5th base. And GG from Zaraki. Snitzel has taken game number 3, and once again, we have a 3-0 situation. Sass has to win 4 games in a row. But Sass is a lot of talented players, so it's almost possible. Do I have the next replay? Oh, I do have the next replay. That's right. So let's do that. Boom. Sass versus GT, set number 4 on Icarus. Here we go. We have Sass Non versus Jumper. Alright. Versus GT's Jumper. Oh, whoops. I was putting the wrong one there. Jumper is green. Sass Non is orange. Oh. You know what I was saying about there only being 2 people in Hungary who play Terran? I think Non is Hungarian. That would make Non a 3rd Hungarian player to play Terran, and all the other ones play Zerg. So, apologies to Non. Anyway, oh, whoops, Jumper's not green, he is teal. Alright. So, PvT on Icarus. And Icarus is a map where you can, there's some pretty good proxy locations. And it's a map where drops are pretty good. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, looks like I'm going to be going for the fast gas, so probably Siege Expand. Almost certainly a Siege Expand, unless he's going to do some really one-base tech stuff like one-base drops. But Jumper, meanwhile, is going to be going for also going to be going for 1 gateway and then gas. Probably going to be good. Excuse me. Probably not going to expand for a little while. He's going to send some goons out first. Put a little bit of pressure on his opponents. Or at least attempt to. It's going to be kind of hard going up the ramp. His opponent didn't expand fast. Anyway, yep, Non thrown out of the factory, so pretty much what you would expect. I'm getting too distracted by the chat. That Marine is in a terrible position. Because before that Marine got over there, you could see that its vision range was just like nothing. It was like as if it was blinded. Because ramps sometimes don't want to work. It actually has to do with the fact that in original StarCraft, or not in the original StarCraft, but in the Brood War that they released to the public, you couldn't make ramps that pointed in this direction or in bottom right to top or left. You only had downward facing ramps like this. So if you wanted to have a base up at the top, it just had to loop around and then the ramp would point down this way. And then people said, well, that's really not fair, because in certain situations it's better to have the ramp facing away from the choke, and some situations it's better to have it facing towards the choke. And you're going to have a lot of positional imbalance. So people went and hacked and made it so that you could put ramps in the opposite direction. But what that caused was you can have little spots where the Marine stands here, and then it has no vision because the game's broken. And that's your little tidbit of Brood War history. Anyway, Non's going to move out with first 5 Marines and the tank. Researching, getting vultures with mines and speed behind this. The vultures will be able to reinforce this attack as it pushes across the map. Now, what is Jumper going to have to counter this? Going through the Robo, going to help him see mines, and he went for a fast expansion behind this. So actually, Jumper's going to have to rely on some pretty good goon micro. Otherwise, oh no, no, Jumper. Okay, took 1 mine hit, and he's going to back off. But he's not going to have a lot of units out, and if Non was to actually continue with that attack, I think it could have done some good damage. But it looks like Non's content to just allow himself to get up in expansion. Ooh, he's getting drops. How many mines do these vultures have? 3, 3, and 1? I assume a 4th one's on the way. Yes, it is. So he's going to do a 4 vulture drop in the back of Jumper's base. As I said, this map is very droppable. Ooh, he's not really going to drop it, he's going to go for an attack. And this could end up being pretty brutal. This spot is cliffable, so if he keeps the dropship alive, he's going to be able to put a couple siege tanks up here, down here, and siege Jumper's mineral line. But here come the first 4 vultures, and Jumper does see it, so he gets goons into position. Good job moving away from the mines. And Non's actually doing a pretty good job of laying mines himself. And it looks like he's actually got all of his mines out, so good move by him. How close is the Observer to being out? The Observer still has a little bit more time left. Where's the attack at the front? Ooh, the attack at the front is going to take out the Observatory. He doesn't have anything to defend it, and he can't even get past the spider mine, so there is a single Observer. And he actually can't, and that's going to make a difference. They're not going to be able to die, but he only has a limited vision resource. All these probes got pulled, but not actually attacking. So more mines being laid at the bottom of the ramp. Mine drags into Marines. But it looks like Jumper's going to have enough dragoons to clean this up. Loses the tank. He did keep the dropship alive, correct? Yes, the dropship is alive. There's still a couple mines in there that weren't quite cleared out. And, ooh, Jumper's going for a Reaver attack behind this? Really? Alright, so some pretty late Reavers coming out for Jumper. Is Non going to have defense for it? There is an eBay on the way. Jumper built a pylon over here. It probably was not for a proxy, it was just as a scouting, because this, a third for Terran's either going to be here or the one in this corner. It's almost equally easy to take either one. Well, the shuttle finished. Or I thought it finished. Did he cancel it? Maybe he canceled it. He's getting shuttle speed. But he didn't... there's the shuttle. Okay. So he's getting it shuttle speed, and here comes the Reaver. So, speed shuttle Reaver. Against Terran. Now, you usually get it. You usually will get that upgrade versus Zerg because you want to avoid Scourge. I'm not sure how the Speed Shell is going to help him versus Terran, because most of the stuff is just static defenses. I guess he can fly over the turrets and take fewer hits. Not that that makes too much of a difference. Interesting. Probably has something pretty specific planned for that specialty of ability. Building up a second shuttle behind this. And he's not going to take the Reaver. He's loading it up with goons and... no, he's just loading up the shuttle so that he can deal with C-Sinks at the top. And those elves can be able to clear that up pretty easily. Goons should probably start focusing on the dropship. Yeah. Might have been able to take that out. He only needed 2 more shots, too. He just drops it on the other side. Oh, but the probe gets in. And the dropship flies away with 1 hit left, leaving the tank. Unfortunately. And now here comes the second shuttle. So is he going to go with double shuttle? Alright, here we go, man. Double speed shuttle, 2 Dragoons, 2 Zealots, and a Reaver. Meanwhile, this base is having a little bit of trouble getting started, but the Nexus has been thrown down, and the Vultures are probably not going to be able to kill it. Although, he does need the Observer. The Observer needs to go over here! Well, only took 1 mine hit. Could have been a lot worse. But here come the speed shuttles, just barely missing those vultures. How many turrets have been built? There is 1 turret here. That can be killed pretty easily. I think that's the only anti-air defense, so it's just going to be a matter of pulling units back. Now, it's a pretty clean shot for units to get back there, so he doesn't really have to worry about, like, anti-sim-sitting himself. And he's not even going to drop him by the mineral line. He's going to drop him pretty close to the center. Loses 1 shuttle. The other shuttle takes some damage, but not going to die. And now those SCVs are running past the Reaver. How much damage is the Reaver going to do? Oh, no! That shot's going to miss. Yeah, it's only gotten 5 kills so far. It's not a horrible amount of damage. And he's actually going to pick up and leave. Or not. Nope, he's going to come back. Although I really don't think he's going to be able to do much damage here. There are way too many siege tanks. Unless you can fit it back there, maybe? No, he should probably just fly away. So that was some pretty unsuccessful Reaver harass. And when you decide you need to go for Reaver harass, you need to do damage with the Reaver harass. Your Jumper's pretty far behind now, after not doing anything with like 30 supply behind. He's going... My sound's echoing? Wait. My sounds are off? Let me check something. Oh, it's fine now. Well then. Thanks a lot, Ava. Ignore that, everybody. As I was saying, Jumper is not in a good position at all. He's behind 20 supply. His Reaver didn't do much. I mean, it got some kills. It's up to 7 kills now, but it's not that much considering how much he used for it. And Non's doing some good harassment of his own. Ooh, doing the anti-Reaver tank dropship micro. Oh, didn't quite get that one. Got that one though. Oh, look at your shenanigans. Gonna drop the Reaver on top. Now he's gonna... I think that's gonna lose his tanks. Bringing a couple of goons for reinforcement. Nope. That Reaver is going to be able to stop the tanks finally. But those tanks were quite annoying. And what I'm really curious about is why Jumper decided to get the shuttle speed. I'm not sure what advantages that really bought him. It delayed his Reaper harass a good amount. I mean, he did have to wait for that second shuttle if he wanted to go for the second shuttle. I'm not really sure what was going on with that. Anyway, pretty big force for Non. Is coming down. Even a Wraith there to keep the shuttle off. And I'm doubting Jumper's ability to hold this off. There are a lot of mines in with the units. But the Reaver goes down. And I don't think he did any damage to the tanks. He just got Vulture kills. And now the tanks... There are more tanks than there are Dragoons. That is not a position you want to be in. That's a lot of probes that aren't mining. That's not what you want to be doing. There are a lot of probes over here. Okay, there's one probe over here. 2 probes over here that aren't mining. There's still like 10 idle probes, though. That's a lot. Anyway, now that he's reached at least this position, he has cut off the 3rd from reinforcements. So these units are isolated and the only defense left against Vulturegrass on that 3rd. Not that the 3rd's been saturated at all, but there are units that are now taking down Jumper's Natural. He's losing all of his probes. Trying to do lots of Zealot bombs. I don't know where that Wraith went. Is it still here? Doesn't look like it. And these Zealot bombs are going to be able to do something, but Jumper's lost so much at this point. He's behind by over 30 supply. Oh, but there's a DT! There's a DT that gets a very nice mine drag. It's going to kill all the tanks. That's a good start. Anyway, here come the Dragoons that got stranded. They're going to be able to push back a little bit, but there are still 3 siege tanks here with Vulture support. I don't think those Dragoons are going to be able to handle it. And it looks like Jumper's just going to use, Non's going to use this nice minefield to prevent any reinforcements from getting back here. I think that Non's going to be able to take this out. He is dropping... Oh, he's dropping DTs. There's no detection here. Oh, Non needs to scan. Oh, Non's not scanning. Non is not scanning. Oh man, Jumper with his DTs, man. Jumper with his DTs. Lots of Vultures coming in. Jumper did repopulate the space, so they're probably going to lose all those probes, or at least a good number of them. Continue to lay mines. There is an observer here that's kind of tucked away, not being terribly helpful. But no, Vultures are not focusing on the probes, they're focusing on the Dragoons instead. I don't even think that one was firing. More forces coming in. Is this going to be enough to push back the Dragoons? Yes, the Dragoons are being pushed back, and now the probes are really in trouble. They're stacking up, and their siege tanks the siege tanks aren't quite in range to hit the probes, but they are going to be able to kill the Nexus. So Jumper's Nexus is going down. This base... Again, lots and lots of idle probes. This base is almost mined out, though. And Jumper has lost his natural, so soon it will be only down to this 3rd that has been harassed to death and has almost no saturation. But it looks like Non's attack has been stopped. Well, almost stopped. There's still a couple of Vultures here, but he's not bringing in any more reinforcements beyond this. Jumper's pulled all his probes back to mining the gas, keeping them in the safety range of the cannon. And now the Dragoons finally come to stop this. But so much damage has been done. 62 to 110. That's almost double. And that's not good. Does Jumper have, like, Arbiter Tech, even? No, he does not have Arbiter Tech. Ooh, man. I assume he was about to research something out of there because he landed it, but apparently he's not. That's fine. Non waiting a little bit to retool his army and coming back with a very big force. These Vultures are a little bit too far ahead, though. These Goons can win the engagement. Non needs to pull back with the Vultures he has until the tanks can arrive. And now he's going to be forced the Dragoons to pull back. There's a mine chasing. Ooh, nice mine hit. Yeah. Jumper has not expanded to his natural yet. Even if he had, it's probably going to go down again. This base is still pretty poorly populated, and this base now only has a few patches left. Yep. Jumper is going to have to pull out some miracles with his DTs, but I think that Non is on top of the situation enough that he's going to be scanning in the correct locations. Anyway, no reinforcements over here, so it's going to take it's not going to take too long to take down the pylon wall, and once it does, all the probes are dead. Meanwhile, so many mines in the natural, being cleared out by zealots to some extent. The rarely utilized Archon bombs. Alright. This expansion is now dead. So that's a shame. You can watch Non just like scanning all these expansions, trying to find the hidden one, but there is not a hidden one. Jumper is really just mining off of 2 patches. And he does not have a huge bank to work off of. Yeah, Jumper's really done. Like, really, really done. Nexus has died. There's a good number of Dragoons, and Non hasn't quite brought his tank force yet. I don't know where his tank force is. But Jumper might not yet. Total of like 120 minerals left. But he's trying to save up for a Nexus, I think. Because he almost doesn't have enough money for a Nexus. If he spends the money he has, he doesn't have enough reserve left in his main to build another one. And GG from Jumper. Well, Sasnon's going to prevent... excuse me. Is going to prevent the 4-0 sweep. Alright. Boom, that's how I beat Awa in asking for replays. Alright. Uh-oh. Something's weird. This should be good. Alright. Okay. Sass-Ace and Sass-Ziki were there. Sass-Ace and Sass-Ziki showed up, and GT did not have any other players. Wait. Am I still online? Okay, my internet's crashing. Somebody confirm that I'm still streaming, because I'm not sure at this point. My Firefox just crashed, so I want to make sure I'm still on. Oh, okay. Dude, alright. I was wondering why nobody was talking in chat, and it just turned out that it shut off for the past 10 minutes. I have to reload my chat. Cool stuff. Okay. So, Sass had players, and GT did not. So, we are going to ace match. That's what's going on. This is a 3. Let's do this. probably going to be Zeke. And who is GT going to send? We have... Ooh! It's not Zeke. It's Ace versus Snitzel. Alright. Ace versus Is that how you spell Snitzel? Yeah, but I didn't get the calculation. Alright. Alright. So, in the top left position, we have Ace the Sniper Zerg, playing as the Orange Zerg. And in the bottom location, we have Snitzel, playing as the Teal Protoss. And these are two of the best players that the foreign community has to offer. Ace has been a very strong player for a good time now. Second place in both ISLs, and Snitzel is no slouch himself. We saw him win earlier today. It should be a good match. Alright. So, Ace, going with the 12 pull. Looks like a 12 pull. Ooh. Look at that fancy scouting pattern from Snitzel. He came up to here, and just like, nope, gonna cut across. Dude, was that even... I mean, not only are you assuming that your opponent's bringing your overload directly down, but you're also assuming that the opponent didn't bring it down along this side. That's some pretty risky scouting patterns from Snitzel. But it's going to pay off, because you can scout his opponent very quickly. And going to throw down more manor pylons. Oh, but he cancels it and then Ace builds it immediately. I think Snitzel wanted to get back into position to try to throw down another one, but he couldn't. Anyway, Ace is still trying to find his opponent. In fact, he's moving his Overlord in kind of funny directions here, because he's assuming, well, maybe he's not there, and he's actually over here, just based on how fast that probe got in. But nope. Your opponent is cross, Ace. Anyway, Snitzel has a basic wall set up. Only one cannon down, but he doesn't need the other cannon. In fact, Ace isn't building any more Zerglings. Although this probe's done a lot of damage to this drone. Only it's going to take 2 more hits, and oh, just short of blocking that. Unfortunate. And the probe should get away unless speed is done. It's not. Alright. Excuse me. Now, Ace threw down a pretty late third, in fact. The lair was almost at the same timing. So, it really won't distract him from doing pretty much the standard stuff if that's what he wants to do. Although, this is gearing up to look like he's going to build a Hydralisk Den. Nope. Faking me out, man. I don't know why you'd build a Hydralisk Den here anyway. That'd be a terrible place to try to wall off from. But Alright, anyway. So, Now, that's a kind of an interesting position for the cannon, because it's going to kind of defend against mutalisks, and it's going to kind of defend the wall, but not really do either terribly effectively. Because, I mean, you could put the cannon here, or you could put the cannon here, although he doesn't have pylon power at that point yet. Although he could have just built that pylon a little bit farther up and gotten power there. Anyway, looks like Snitzel's going to try to skimp on cannons, though, this game. It really won't defend against Hydralisks at all, but it will defend against Zergling run-bys. Pretty much as effectively as one here would. Anyway, Spire is about halfway done. First Corsair is already out. There it is. And it's going to see the Zerglings moving in the center. That's a good number of speedlings for this point in the game. Snitzel does need to fear a backstab if he moves out with his first Zealots. But this Overlord's not going to go for the immediate scout, just trying to find the Overlord as fast as possible. Oh, nope. He's going to go and scout first and then come back and kill. Yep, sees the lair, or excuse me, sees the Spire, and comes back. He's going to try to pick off a couple of these Overlords. Ooh, and the Evolution Chamber just started. Is the Hydralisk Den on the way, at least? Yeah, the Hydralisk Den's about halfway done. So this Corsair, he just has to worry about the Scourge. And, it's not going to even be able to get one Overlord. That Scourge probably should have gotten a hit, but the Corsair's going to be pushed away with 0 kills. A little bit unfortunate for Snitzel, and needs to bring the other one back as well. Now, +1 is almost done. Speed, similarly, is almost done. So Snitzel, he played a PvZ earlier, and in that PvZ, he decided to not go out with the typical +1 timing, but waited just an extra 60 seconds, got about 4 more Zealots, and attacked then. So we'll see if he, it looks like he's not moving out of the normal timing. Yeah, he should be moving out now if he was to do normal stuff. But instead, it looks like he's going to wait just a little bit longer and try to get a few more Zealots before attacking. In fact, if he was to make a Zealot... Oh, no, I was not going to make a Zealot. I was going to make High Templar. He got the Fast Templar Archives. Hasn't started Storm yet. And it looks like, once again, he's going to go for the really big course... Ooh. Well, that's unfortunate. But it looks like he's going to go for the really big Corsair numbers. Last time he got really big Corsair numbers and got the +1 eventually, but quite late. And now, is he going to lose a Corsair? Yes, he's going to lose 1 Corsair to take out that Overlord, which is not something you normally want to do. But he's planning on bringing a DT over here. Ooh, Ace splitting up the Scourge, getting 1 hit on each. I think he saw that this one was injured and wanted to only hit it once, but it had just enough shields to live through a second Scourge hit. And, more Scourge coming in, going to pick up that injured one. Both of these Corsairs are injured, they only need 1 more hit. This one should be able to get away, but maybe these Scourge can hit that Corsair? No, they can't. Anyway, Snitzel is actually throwing down a lot of, he's throwing down a lot of cannons in his main and in his natural mineral lines. But Ace is going for a Mutalisk transition, so a good move from him, at least to some extent. He only has 2 Mutalisks out right now. Is he building more anywhere? Why? There they are. Okay, I was like, why does he only have 2 Mutalisks? But I found the other ones. Snitzel, though, is pretty well defended against Mutalisks, so I think that these aren't going to be able to do much. They might be able to range a couple buildings, but ranging the Citadel at this point in the game doesn't actually do anything. +1 has already finished. So it looks like these mutas are just going to be anti-zealot mutas for the time being. Well, they could try to attack from this side. It isn't very well defended. These cannons aren't quite far enough over. But the Templars do have energy, so he needs to be careful for dodging storms. Ooh, storm's only halfway done though. So never mind. He might be able to get in there before storm finishes. He hasn't quite scouted it out yet, so I don't think he realizes that there's a bit of a vulnerability. Otherwise, he'd be attacking that and trying to draw the Corsairs out. Anyway, Ace has taken his fourth, so he is going to be going for a. It looks like he might be going into a 4-base turtle style as well, which did not work out at all against Schnitzel the first time. Anyway, now when you have this many Corsairs, it's almost just worth it to get +1, because you're still spending money on the Corsairs, and if you're spending money on the Corsairs, it's cheaper to get +1 and you'll get more out of it than another Corsair. So, it's kind of odd that he's in both of these games he's waiting so long to get it. And a lot of Scourge hits. Schnitzel was not paying attention there. A good move from Ace coming in from all directions to get the maximum effectiveness out of the Scourge. He pulls out with the mutants before he loses too many of them either. Lurkers have finished, and more Scourge hits on the Corsairs. Schnitzel should have like 5 more Corsairs at this point, but Ace has been very good with the Scourge. Oh man, the one solitary Scourge still going to pick up a hill. And here come the Mules from the backside. Now without a big Corsair number. Wait, where's the one with... Oh, he killed the one with... got all the kills. But a very, very huge storm going down, taking out all of Ace's Mutalisks. And because he's going for a turtle style, that's all of Ace's aggression for quite a while now. It's all he's going to be able to do. Oh, that hurts. Well, yeah. Ace is pulling out a couple Hydralisks here, but the Hydralisks are going to be pretty... no, never mind. The Hydralisks are going to be pretty weak compared to that big of a Protoss army, and now Schnitzel is going to be free to take a third and even a fourth, not too long from now. 105 compared to 126. Ace isn't that far behind in supply. No, I was trying to figure out that lurker was stopped, but just coincidentally no Protoss units were walking around it. Is there not an observer? There's really not an observer. That's kind of funny. I mean, it doesn't matter because the lurker's only doing shield damage and the shields all recover, but still, kind of amusing. There's the observers. Where is Ziki going hive yet? Yes, Ziki is going. Not Ziki. Ace is going hive. Sorry, looking at the chat. Ace is going hive, and he's going to need some kind of hive tech to deal with this. Either Ultras or Defilers. I think he'd prefer Defilers, just because there's so many Dragoons, and Schnitzel seems to be adding more onto that. Now, why are these not shooting? No way! Is that really... Okay. I was gonna say, if that thing got away, that'd be ridiculous. But anyway, here comes Schnitzel's attack. These storms are gonna do a lot of damage. Schnitzel is a player who likes to have lots of Templars. Although he doesn't have that many this time around. He has a rather normal number, in fact. lurkers coming in from the backside of Ace, but Schnitzel just has enough stuff that's not... Well, I guess not. It looks like the very nice surround from Ace with reinforcements is going to be enough to kill off Schnitzel's army. Still slightly behind in supply, but might not be after taking out all these Dragoons. And I'm really interested in the rationale behind going with these Nath Corsairs, not getting the +1 for him, and he really doesn't have Templars either. I'm not sure what he's, he hasn't been, like, super active with them just killing overlords all around the map. He's kept them pretty close to the army, and when you do that, it's usually because you're trying to get Dark Templar in, but he hasn't been making Dark Templar, he's been making High Templar. So a little bit perplexing. But at the same time, he should have had more. He wasn't anticipating Ace to be so effective with the Spears in the beginning of the game that really reduces their effectiveness. And then in battles like that, when you lose them all again, is he going to continue to make them? Nope. Looks like he's done with the Corsairs. Anyway, a couple Overlords. Probably going to die. What are the upgrades looking like? 3-1 compared to... That's a bad unit to click on to look at supply or upgrades. 1-1. So Stitzel with a distinct, with a distinct upgrade advantage. Has he thrown down the Defiler Mount or the Ultra's Cavern yet? Ultra's Cavern is done, and Defiler Mount's done, so he has both. But it doesn't look like he has them incorporated into the army quite yet. He's going in for the attack, coming in from a lot of different directions. This is something that Ace is very good at, having units in the correct positions, but there's just too much Protoss stuff this time around. Gonna have to pull back. Where? Here are the Defilers. Is he still getting upgraded? Yep, still getting consumed. Just a little bit more time for that. And now Schnitzel has taken a 4th, so it's still pretty close on bases, because as Schnitzel gets his 4th, Ace gets his 5th. That might even be a little bit of an advance for the Protoss, but it's pretty similar. Supplies also right around the same, 160 compared to 180. That's not a huge difference for this stage in the game. But that's just such a scary army with so many storms, and he's just going to be able to storm everything. But here comes the attack. Ultralisk and Defilers now incorporated into the army. Protoss is forced to pull back. Protoss is going to do a lot of damage with the storms as they retreat. The units clump up in pursuit, making it a perfect candidate for storms. But there are not a lot of zealots, so these swarms are going to be very effective. More storms going down. The swarms even kind of protecting the Hydralisks. They were supposed to be protecting the Zerglings, but now protecting a different target. But there's just so much Protoss stuff. More storms going down. He didn't use all the storms he had, so he's still banking some. But the Ultralisk do pull away without dying. That's a good sign. Looks like Ultralisk armor is finished. Yeah, that's just the Ultralisk armor. He hasn't actually gotten up to 3 yet. Ooh, even getting a shield up. Really? You got a shield upgrade? Do you have 3 forges? That's what he did. Okay. No, he just has 2. But now, 3-2-1 for Protoss compared to 1-1-2. I'm pretty sure there's still only 1 ranged attack. Looks like Swarm's going down, going to be able to... No, not even going to be able to take out this base. Protoss reinforcements are able to get there in time. They're going to be able to kill these Ultralisks under the Swarm. Not that many Zealots, but it's going to be enough. There are still a lot of Ultralisks, but at the same time, Schnitzel's starting to show some pretty dominant map control. Still up at 190 compared to 145 for Ace. It's not looking good. Now starting to incorporate a good number of DTs. That's 5 DTs? I think that's 5. And, oh, this is not going to be a good attacking pass for Ace if he decides to engage here. Oh, I do not like this engagement. He doesn't have a good army composition either. Storms all 3 observers, though, but there are no lurkers, so it really doesn't matter. And, oh, there are just so much Protoss stuff. So much Protoss stuff, and Ace does not have Defilers. Where are your Defilers, Ace? You have a lurker. That's good. But it looks like Ace is just down to the Ultralisks. He kept his Ultralisks alive, which is good, but it's certainly not going to be enough to win this. He needs to do something. I'm not sure what he can do. But he's going to lose engagement. There's a Defiler coming to the party late. Didn't get a swarm down. And now, Snitzel's going to be able to easily take out the 5th. Isn't able to kill any of the drones, though. So that's, not what he wanted, but it's fine. A few units coming in from the top, but they're not going to do damage before dying, and he's just throwing away a couple Ultralisks. Ugh. And Snitzel just has control of this game now. He can really do whatever he wants. There's not much Ace can do, but just try to barely defend it. Huge speed lot attack going up to take out Ace's 6th base, while Snitzel sets up his 5th. But now, this army could just come down and attack this SimCity and it wouldn't matter. Ace going for a counterattack. Is he going to be able to take out the Nexus? I don't think... No, he's not going to be able to take out the Nexus. Zealots are going to do enough damage fast enough. Meanwhile, this speed lot attack did shut down the base. DTs are going to stick around taking out the Ultralisks, and DTs are very good versus Ultralisks. With no Overlord support, certainly not going to turn out well for the Ultralisks. Oh, now the DTs are going to run away. I don't think they're going to quite make it, though. Is he still getting shield upgrades? Ooh, Dark Archon. Getting the +3 armor, but not getting any more shield upgrades. Just the 1. Anyway, Snitzel can take this base whenever he wants to. It'll probably be whenever he mines out his next base, which would be this one, I guess. Yeah. Whenever that base mines out, he can just expand up here. He's going to do it now. And transfer the guys over. It's not as if they're going to be intercepted. And is Snitzel going to go and attack the 3rd? It looks like he is. He does have a Dark Archon even. Not enough energy for any spells. Oh, he does have enough feedback, excuse me. But no Defilers, so feedback's not going to help him. He's going to decide to not go for the 3rd, though. Instead, just chase this army out. But, maxed Protoss compared to 134 and supply blocked. There is a single Overlord here. But, only 1 DT. That was a pretty nice storm going down, killing off a lot of the Zerglings, even getting an Ultralisk. And now, Ace is trying to do something with this Ultralisk pack, but he really can't engage the Protoss, so he's just forced to continuously run away, run away, run away. Ace is finally starting to mine out, almost done in his main, almost done in his natural, almost done in his 3rd. That leaves just his 4th, getting him minerals, and a 5th if he's able to secure it. Meanwhile, the Ultralisks getting a little bit trapped, losing 2 of them? Yes, losing 2 more Ultralisks. Oh, he's going to lose a 3rd just because he didn't retreat that one away. Well, probably. He still does have a lot of Ultralisks, but he's not, but it's almost a pure Ultralisk army. I mean, there are a handful of Zerglings, but not really in the correct ratio, and even if he had more Zerglings, but there's so many storms for Snitzel, it just might not matter. Anyway, now starting to get in a couple of Defilers. Swarms going down. Will the Dark Archon get feedbacks? Yes, the Dark Archon gets a couple of feedbacks. and even feeds back one with no energy, or at least not enough to kill it. And the Protoss army just isn't losing very much stuff compared to the Zerg army, which it's not remaxing after the engagement. It's just not able to. Yeah. And while Ace is doing a pretty okay job with these engagements, he's not winning the engagements, and he's certainly not putting himself in a position to advance his economic standing. He's not going to be able to get any more bases, and if he continues on like this, he won't win the game. And that's the real issue. He needs to be constantly hurting the Protoss, not just preventing damage to himself. And even that, he's not doing terribly well, because he just lost all of his drones there. Although it looks like he's going to get a little bit of sandwich, so he might be able to kill off the units here. Oh, not quite. Dark Archon sitting on the ramp. GG from Ace. A good game played from him, but Snitzel just a little bit too good. Proving that he hasn't lost a touch in his period of delayed playing. We're going to take it 4-3 for GT. And that is all I have to stream for today. So, thank you to the sponsors, Twitch TV, Prowler, and Nervopolis. Thank you to the organizers, A1 Game. Thank you... excuse me. Thank you to the players for some rather entertaining games today. And thank you to everybody watching out there, because I wouldn't be casting if there were no viewers. Alright, I will see you guys next week. Sunday for sure, and possibly Friday for more Gambit Cup action. So, until then, bye everybody.